Hey guys, Lauren here, the Director of Marketing here at Great Life Worldwide, and I am looking forward to going through Greg's own Keto Fat Burner today and breaking down the ingredients with you guys. So let's go ahead and get started here. Okay. So first of all, I want to talk about the statistics on obesity. First of all, I think it's really important to note that more than 40% of adults in the United States, that's 2 out of every 5 people, you guys, are living with obesity. And then worldwide, obesity among adults has more than doubled since the year 1990 and has quadrupled among children and adolescents 5 to 19 years of age. Those are some massive statistics. So let's talk about some of the reasons behind those statistics. First of all, there's a social and environmental factor that does influence obesity. Industrialization causes changes in societal structures such as food production, food abundance, a decrease in energy expenditure because of sedentary lifestyles, and access to modern education and changes in the role of women. Those are some of the things that have affected obesity. You know, you think about it, how many people are sitting at a desk just like me right now, and that is their workday. Back in the day, it was a lot less sedentary. You had people out there that were working very hard physical jobs, and as technology has increased, we have people that are exercising their minds more than exercising their physical bodies. And that's good, but also has some negative things that go with it. And one of those things is people are living more sedentary in general. Okay, cultural influences affect the intake of energy. Dense foods that are high in fat increase in sedentary lifestyles and attitudes toward body image, okay? So some of the things that I think is very, very important is that there is a lot of different cultures out there. Some cultures are more aware of various things that do increase the obesity. Some cultures are naturally healthier. Some cultures are naturally less healthy. I think about traveling around the globe, and one thing that I noticed when I left the United States was the amount of food on my plate, the serving sizes. Here in the United States, I always have more on my plate than I can consume, and sometimes it takes me 2 or 3 meals, sometimes more, to be able to consume the amount of food that they put on my plate for one meal. You go to a different country, and I remember thinking, man, when you're a child and your parents are like, hey, have a happy plate at the end of the meal. I feel like here in the United States, I had a more difficult time being able to achieve having a happy plate at the end of my meal. But if I were to grow up in a different country where they serve actual serving sizes for a meal, I think I could have had a lot more happy plates growing up. But there's another thing to consider. We also need to consider our socioeconomic status. It is definitely negatively correlated with obesity in developed countries, but positively correlated in developing countries. So one thing that I think about is the dynamics of people with less income and higher income families here, even just in the United States alone. One thing that I have noticed amongst people that maybe can afford more nutritious meals versus people that need to go down the shopping aisle at a Walmart and they're picking up all of these like boxes of macaroni and cheese, things like that are more affordable typically than purchasing higher quality food. You've got all of these like in the freezer sections, you've got all of this highly processed food. It can be cheaper in countries, and here in America, it is cheaper typically to consume a more highly processed, less nutritious meal than it is to consume something that is fresh and highly dense in nutrients. So that is something that definitely does cause some of these situations when it comes to people that are struggling with their weight management. Societal changes impact behaviors that contribute to weight gain, such as overeating and reduced physical activity. One thing that I think about is here in the United States, one thing that has absolutely shocked me since I moved to a city. I grew up in the country. We did not have access to fast food or restaurants very often. You know, we had to drive a decent amount of distance to go out and eat. So we had a lot of our meals were home cooked. We canned, we froze food, like we gardened, we grew our own food, and then we preserved our own foods and cooked most of our meals from home. And so I feel like that definitely was different when it came to how I was raised and grew up, and how someone like my husband was raised and grew up here in the city. He definitely loves fast food a lot more than I do. When I think about fast food, I'm like, ugh, you know, it's not very appetizing to think about when I think about it, because my mind has been programmed to relate to and enjoy a home-cooked meal. When my husband thinks about something that he is craving that would really hit the spot, you know, a lot of the time it's Taco Bell. So that's the difference for a lot of people. And it does definitely cause people to struggle more when it comes to overeating. You know, my husband and I, let's say we're going to sit side by side and have the same amount of actual food. I were to make something maybe from scratch, homegrown, you know, that's the same amount of actual food. And then you've got my husband, if he were to pick something maybe from Taco Bell, he could actually eat something with less actual food and have more calories. And most of the time when you go out and you eat fast food, those calories are not highly nutritious calories. You know, it's a lot of junk that we're putting into our bodies. And so these are all very, very normal things that we have to deal with worldwide. You know, people don't have enough time anymore to go home and cook a meal. Maybe they don't feel like they have enough energy to go home and cook a meal after they've worked really hard all day long. It's sometimes just easier to be able to say, hey, I'm just going to hop in the car, go through the drive-thru, let someone else cook, you know, my meal for me tonight. But these are the things that are definitely causing us a problem as a society and in humankind around the globe. There are also genetic factors of obesity. A person's genetics may determine the extent to which external or environmental factors impact their weight. Studies have shown that 40% to 70% of individual differences in BMI are explained by genetic factors. This is another thing that I can use my husband and I in this particular example. You take both of us and, you know, my family, I come from a family that very hard laborers, farmers in my background of my family, physical labor, a lot of physical labor. You know, when I grew up, my dad ended up owning a construction company called RATS, Roberts All Trades Services. And growing up, I worked alongside my dad. We would build homes. We would dig out and lay out new pipes for plumbing, help them with electricity and electrical work. It was a hard labor job growing up. None of my siblings struggle with obesity. My dad, here's the crazy part. Growing up, I would sit and watch my dad just consume loads of sugar. Like he could sit and just consume an entire bag of Twizzlers. He loves sugar. He loves sitting down and snacking on cookies, you know? And then I would sit there and look at my dad and think, man, he eats all of this stuff. But my dad is not someone that struggles with excessive weight gain. You know, he's always been someone that's slender. I think part of that is definitely due to the fact that he has never had a sedentary life. You know, right now he's still working very hard labor jobs. He actually decided to dissolve that company. He gave it away, I should say, and decided to become a missionary in Mexico. And now he started a trade school and he works very, very hard every single day. I have heard from my stepmom that he still loves snacking on those sugary things. And so those are some things that haven't changed about my dad, but he is still someone that does not struggle with obesity. And then you take someone like my husband. I know that his mother has also been someone that was very intensive in her workouts. From what I heard and what I saw, I am telling you right now, I was in high school when I met her, and I was like, there is no way I could keep up with this woman that is a mother. And she was doing Zumba classes and aerobics classes, and she led these classes all day long. You know, I don't know how many days a week, but she would outdo everybody in her class, and she would be doing these workouts on repeat. Yet her story is different than my dad's story. You know, she would watch more of her calories than my dad. My dad was never the kind of person that counted calories. But you've got the fact that she did struggle with weight gain. And that is something that they are two different people with different genetic factors. They both lived a very active lifestyle, but both of them had opposite. And then you've passed it down genetically to my husband and I. So my husband struggles a lot more with managing his weight. He does count his calories. He has to make sure that he's staying on top of making sure he's not living a sedentary lifestyle. And he has to kind of cross all of his T's and dot all of his I's and make sure that he's extra on top of his health and wellness game. And then you've got me. I don't count my calories. I gotta be honest with you guys. I am not someone that is as aggressive in trying to manage my weight, and I'm not as active in counting. I don't count calories. I don't do those things. And it's just because I've never personally struggled with excessive weight gain. Actually, this is real funny. The only time that I was able to gain weight and became overweight, I actually went to the doctor when I was in school because I was struggling. I was too skinny. You know, my metabolism was extremely high. I ate more than my dad and my uncles and my grandpa combined at a meal when I was growing up. I could eat. They thought I had the world's biggest tapeworm, but I could not gain the weight because my metabolism was so just active. When I did any surgery, I had to get the same amount of sedentary medication to go under. I had to do it multiple times. For my body weight, they were blown away because my metabolism was just pumping, working overtime. And so when I was in high school, I went to a doctor and he was like, I'm going to try to help you gain weight. So he gave me some weight gainers and I would eat peanut butter. So I ate a lot of peanut butter, but I forgot. It's like the doctor never told me to stop. And so when I met Elijah, I remember he was like, you're kind of chunky. He didn't actually say that, but I remember thinking, what? I've never been told that in my entire life. And I looked at myself and I thought, you know what? I am a little puffy. So that's when I decided for the first time that I needed to go ahead and be more aware of what I was consuming. I stopped going through a jar of peanut butter in a day. I got off the weight gainers and I changed that around. And so, but it was easier for me to bounce back than most people. And so those are some of the genetic factors that I am talking to using real people and real experiences to break this down. So I'm going to talk about a faster metabolism. Like I mentioned previously, me personally, I naturally have a faster metabolism than the average person. And having this faster metabolism does help you burn more calories, right? It helps you to be able to stay fit much more easily. And that is something that has tremendously helped me. The metabolism, in simple terms, is the internal process by which your body expends energy and burns calories. It runs 24/7 to keep your body moving, even when you're resting or sleeping. By converting the food and nutrients you consume into energy your body needs in order to breathe, circulate blood, grow and repair cells, and everything else it does to survive. So as you can see, I've got kind of an illustration here to the side where you're consuming something that would be apple, and then you're turning that into energy. Again, it's kind of like it's a cycle. Then you consume something again. Your body is constantly doing this, okay? Every single time you consume something, this is happening in your system. So it does convert food into energy. Okay, energy for cellular processes that you need to function on a daily basis. It creates building blocks of proteins, lipids, nucleic acids, and certain carbohydrates. And then it also helps you to eliminate the waste through the metabolistic process, okay? I don't think I break all of that down here, but if you guys are interested or curious, that would be something fun to look up if you haven't learned about that. It's pretty cool to see how the body is it's incredible. Anyways, is there a way to help maximize your metabolism? The typical metabolism. Carbohydrates are used for energy. Glucose levels rise. Pancreas produces insulin. And the glucose is used for energy or converted to fat, okay? So if you consume too much food, that's where you get the energy, but then you also have to store the excess glucose, which is stored as fat. Now, I want to quickly break down that process as well for you guys. So what happens is your body actually produces a fat cell, and I like to describe this like a storage unit. And what that is used for is, I might need this, so I'm just going to store it away. Now, the body doesn't like to do things it doesn't have to do or work extra when it doesn't need to. So usually what happens is it takes a little bit for your body to decide, I'm going to create a fat cell because this person is consistently consuming excess. And so I need to go ahead and create a fat cell, to store the excess fat. Okay. And then in order to lose that weight, your body is going to have to not use that fat cell. So the fat cell is not flushed when you first start to lose weight. The fat inside of that cell, it goes away, and the cell will slowly but surely shrink. Okay, so there's no actual fat stored in the cell. Then that fat cell will sit dormant for a little bit in your body before the fat cell is flushed, because the body's thinking, hey, just because I'm not using this fat cell today doesn't mean that I'm going to need to store excess fat tomorrow. And so your body has to see that you're not going to need the storage for excess fat first. And then over time, your body will eventually recognize, I am not needing this extra cell, this extra fat cell to store the excess fat. So now I'm going to flush it. Why does it hold on to that excess cell? That's because it doesn't want to have to recreate something. It wants to just reuse it. So that's why you need to make sure that on your weight loss journey, when you lose the weight that you're wanting to lose, at first, it's going to be very easy to put back on that weight because your body's not going to have to expend extra energy to develop a new fat cell. It just needs to fill the one that already exists that's sitting dormant. Okay? So that was something I just wanted to share real quick. When you talk about ketosis, though, you've got fat used for energy. That means this process would be glucose levels would fall, lipase breaks down and makes triglycerides, and the liver breaks down fatty acids for energy and produces ketones. Okay, what is ketosis, right? Number one, you're going to reduce eating carbohydrate a diet or follow the keto diet. This will naturally lower blood glucose levels, which will naturally create a reaction that will cause more consumed and stored fat to be used as energy. The liver will then break down fat into ketones. The ketones are released into the bloodstream, and the brain then gets to use ketones for energy instead of glucose. This is what ketosis is. Ketosis is the state where your body burns fat for energy instead of carbs. You can help your body achieve ketosis in a healthier, faster manner by consuming our Keto Fat Burner product. And let's talk about how this works and why this formula is so effective. First of all, our keto blend, employing low carbohydrate diets or limiting carbohydrates intakes, are not the only ways to include a state of ketosis. While we may consume high-fat foods as a means of lowering glucose levels internally, we can also consume ketone supplements that seek to mimic ketosis and raise blood glucose levels without actually having to change our diets. These are called exogenous ketones, okay? Our formula combines the power of some very, very powerful ingredients, and we're going to break those down here. As you can see, it shows the maximum strength proprietary keto blend, okay? First of all, let's talk about calcium beta hydroxybutyrate. Calcium beta supports your body in ketosis by providing an efficient source of energy for your brain and muscles. It acts as an alternative fuel, allowing you to maintain energy levels even when carbohydrate intake is low. By supplementing with this calcium beta, you can support mental clarity, physical endurance, and overall metabolic health. This compound also aids in reducing cravings and promoting weight management by keeping you satiated for longer periods, okay? This is a very powerful tool. Magnesium, so that we're going to call this one magnesium beta, so BHB, acts as a readily available ketone that can be used by your muscles and brain for energy. It helps support your body in ketosis by providing an alternative energy source to glucose. And we talked about that earlier. This not only helps enhance physical performance, but also boosts mental clarity and focus. Additionally, magnesium is crucial for various bodily functions, including muscle and nerve function. It also helps maintain a steady heartbeat and supports a healthy immune system. By consuming this, individuals may experience reduced feelings of fatigue and more sustained energy level throughout the day. So you know how people have talked about how they actually feel more energy. This is one of the ingredients that helps them do that. It also helps curb cravings, and it can also make it easier because of that to be able to stick to whichever diet, which would be hopefully you're going to go ahead and pair this product with utilizing the keto diet. It's going to help you to be able to maintain that strength to be able to do that. This next ingredient is also very powerful. It aids your body in achieving ketosis by First, giving you an energy boost. It helps you enhance your mental clarity. It helps you with appetite suppression. It helps you with exercise performance, giving you more endurance. And it helps with weight management by facilitating ketosis and promoting fat burning. Also, we also have this next ingredient. It helps your body achieve ketosis by providing an additional source of ketones, which are used as an alternative energy source to glucose again. Okay, this can be particularly beneficial for those following a ketogenic diet. In ketosis, the body burns fat for fuel instead of carbohydrates, which may aid in weight loss and improve mental clarity. I might need to consume that, guys, because I'm getting tongue twisted towards the end of this presentation. But that is very, very important. And I know, as someone that has listened to and read these various testimonies of people that have utilized this product, they are recognizing all of these benefits. These benefits are being testified about by real people that are having real results with these products. MCT oil is one that I am sure you have heard of. This has been pretty popular for many years at this point. But MCT oil is a supplement that has become popular among athletes and bodybuilders. As the name suggests, medium chain triglycerides oil contains medium length chains of fats called triglycerides. Due to their shorter length, MCTs are digested faster than longer chain fatty acids found in many other foods. And some studies suggest that MCT oil could promote the release of 2 hormones that help people feel full when eating. Okay, so these are some very, very powerful ingredients in here, you guys. You can actually turn your body into a fat burning machine, and you can help get your body into ketosis more easily with this keto fat burner. So I want to encourage you to take advantage of this powerful product and take your health to the next level today. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for hopping on to this training and learning more about these powerful ingredients in this one product that Great Life Worldwide produces and shares with you guys. The Keto Fat Burner is really helping a lot of people be able to plug in to something that works in their weight management goals. I look forward to hearing more testimonies about this incredible product. I will see you next time. Bye.